fact, I feel that kids at a younger age, for all parents out there, I think it's best to expose your kids to a wide variety of sports. And eventually, if they're passionate, they will, and if they're passionate, if they're talented, good at one particular sport, the skill sets learned from different sports will actually help in the final sport that your kid chooses.
Welcome to India and England News. Our guest today is Viren. He is CEO of OGQ, an organization whose quest and mission is to get more medals for Indian athletes in Olympics. We are going to talk to him about his journey. He is also was a hockey team captain of an Indian team, and today is heading this incredible organization. So, Viren, welcome to our studio.
Thank you very much.
Excellent. And I know we had a very brief chat on Zoom. So we just want to follow up on that. So let's first start with the mission of OGQ.
Yeah, so the mission of OGQ is a very sharp mission, which was really decided by two of the founders of OGQ and two legends of Indian sport, Geet Sethi and Prakash Padukone. They both need no introduction, and they had started OGQ with this sharp mission to help Indian athletes win Olympic and Paralympic gold medals. And it's something that's been really inspiring. And so our name OGQ stands for Olympic Gold Quest, and that's the endeavor to really do everything possible in the back end to support our Indian athletes.
Very good. So already we covered a lot of OGQ background in our interview, the last one. But today I want to focus on just you.
Right.
So I want to listen your story from your own mouth. Tell us, what is your story? How did you get interested in sports? Maybe we can go back in the very beginning.
Yeah, I grew up in a suburb called Bandra in Mumbai.
Bandra is very famous. We hear it all the time. Yes,
right. And the great thing about Bandra is it has a lovely sports culture, especially a culture for hockey and football. And my school was one of those old Jesuit schools called St. Stanislaus High School. And my school had a tradition of producing hockey players who played for India. Several players from my school actually represented the country before I did. And so in one way, I was lucky to go to St. Stanislaus, being an old Jesuit school. There were big playgrounds. We had a hockey field.
And was the admission tough in the school? Was easy to get in?
I had two elder siblings who were both in the school. So, automatically it was not too hard, to be honest, over there. And they generally take people who live close by. And I think I was more lucky because my coach in my school team, when I was I was just 10 years old, and that time the youngest age group for a hockey team was under 12 or under 13, I can't remember. And my coach himself was an Olympian who represented the Indian hockey team at the 1984 Los Angeles Olympics. His name was Marcellus Gomes. So from the time I was 10 years old, Marcellus Gomes was the one who taught me not only all the right technical skills in hockey, but I think he taught me so many life skills of, hard work, discipline, commitment, resilience, never give up. And I think if it wasn't for him, there was no chance I would have ever gone on to play for India. I just learned so many, like I said, not just hockey lessons, but really life lessons.
I'm glad that you mentioned this point. And my question to you is the technical lessons and life lessons. How both of them they interplay in success of whether you are doing sports or whether you're doing anything in your life. If you can just talk about interplay of these two.
Yeah, of course. I think, when at that young age, first of all, you don't know whether you're going to play for India or not. You have a dream, but you don't know whether it'll actually happen. You just keep working. And I think sport teaches you so many leadership skills. I've learned so many lessons in life, maybe more from the field of play than from the classroom. I think the biggest lesson you learn from sport is that you learn how to lose. Because there's nothing in life.
That's
no
an incredible lesson. Yeah,
there's no activity you do in life where you don't lose, or The graph is not always a nice, smooth graph going upwards. There will always be ups and downs in life. And honestly, in sport, I've actually lost so much in life. I continue to lose more than I've won. Yes, I think I'm grateful for having wonderful teachers, wonderful coaches, and wonderful lessons that I've learned through sport. And I think to become a success in life, it's not just the technical skills that are important, but resilience, great teamwork. None of us work in isolation. We all work in teams. And for me, I'm just grateful to have been part of a team sport. And because I think that taught me the most.
So how long, when did you leave that just with school there?
So once I finished 10th standard, then I started playing for Tata Sports Club. Then I played for Air India Sports Club. Then I made a name on the national circuit, and I got noticed. And then I was called into the India camp. I first played for the junior Indian team in 98, 99 time, and it was, for me, the journey was so emotional. Fascinating journey, lots of struggle as well. I came from a background where no one in my family played competitive sport. My family is a very sports loving family, but no one played competitive sport. Mom was a doctor. My two elder brothers were engineers. So, that you're growing up in the 80s, 90s where you had to become a doctor or an engineer.
Sure.
I think I was lucky my parents never put pressure on me. They allowed me to do whatever I wanted in life. And one thing led to the other. I just know that I worked really hard. I never gave up. I was dropped so many times from the Mumbai team growing up when I was very young. But
well, you got the secret that losing, once you learn how to lose, then it is easy to succeed.
I think it's never easy, but you learn. It's a constant work in progress.
So which year did you start your career with the Indian hockey team?
So I started playing from, like I said, 98, 99 period, played for the junior team for 3 years, got into the Junior World Cup squad. In 2001, the Indian junior team won the Under-21 Junior World Cup in Hobart, Australia. I think that was a big breakthrough moment in my career, because from then onwards, I immediately started playing in the senior team.
So when you started the senior team, tell us about that period, that journey of your life.
Well, again, I think by then I was already a fairly established player in the Indian setup. 2002, immediately played the Asian Games. We won the silver medal at the Asian Games in Busan. I remember 2003 was a successful year for Indian hockey because we won 4 international tournaments over there. And I'm talking about the early 2000s where Indian hockey was not doing too well prior to that. So with the 2000 World Cup, 2001 Junior World Cup that we won, 2003, 4 international tournaments, including the Afro-Asian Games, Asian Championship. So many good victories, and we were really on a high. And then 2004 Athens Olympics. I would say for me that was a little bit of a disappointment. Expected more. The Indian team didn't perform to expectations. We just missed out on a semi-final and ended up finishing 7th. So that was a bit of a disappointment. But all I can say is that, like I said, you win some, you lose some. And it was an amazing journey after that. I remember I was captain for the team for the first time. Dilip Tirki, the then captain, got injured. He got hit on the face by a Sohaila Bus drag flick in the India-Pakistan Test Series in 2004. And I became the captain then. Such an emotional moment for me. And I remember that time also India was playing Pakistan for the first time in a bilateral series in any sport for the first time after the Kargil War. We played 4 matches in Pakistan, 4 matches in India. What an experience that was to play in Pakistan, for them to come here.
So I'm glad you mentioned Pakistan too here. And this rivalry between India and Pakistan is incredible, especially for the citizens of India and Pakistan, on both sides. How do the athletes, when, like, for example, you as an Indian athlete playing with Pakistan, what goes in your mind at that time when you were playing?
I think, like with athletes or players from any other team, it was fairly friendly off the field. But once you go onto the pitch and you're playing India versus Pakistan, or for that matter, India versus any other team, you're at war on the pitch for those 70 minutes at that time. When I was playing. Now hockey's become 60 minutes, but it was absolute war. And also because I think in those early 2000s, because there was so much tension between India and Pakistan, because of the war, I think every single match, there was a greater edge to that match. I remember at the 2003 Champions Trophy in Amsterdam, it was one of the greatest India-Pakistan matches of all time, I had the honor and privilege of playing that full match. India beat Pakistan 7-4 in Amsterdam at the Amstelveen Champions Trophy, and we were down 4-2. And from that position, we came back to win 7-4. And hockey has given me the opportunity to have so many emotional moments in my life.
Great. Now, the hockey also is has been a very sentimental play for the India as well, because if you go all the way back in 50s and 60s, I think hockey was even much more important at that time than the cricket. So if you can just tell us a little bit about where does Indian team stand in hockey in the world context today?
Of course, I think India has such a great history and tradition of hockey, the greatest in Olympic history, with 8 Olympic gold medals. As you know, the last one came at Moscow 1980. After that, it has been a very tough journey for not just India, but I'd say Pakistan as well. And Pakistan is still in the doldrums, while I think Indian hockey has revived a lot. I just say that the government has put in massive investment in hockey, from grassroots to competition structure to our national camps to the quality of coaches. And it's reflecting in the results we're seeing in the last 2 Olympics. India is the only team in men's hockey that has won a medal in both the 2 Olympics. So 2 back-to-back bronze medals have been great. We played really well at this time at the Paris 24 Olympics. In fact, I feel that it was a missed opportunity. We dominated Germany in the semi-final, and we should have beaten them. So disappointing to not make it to the final, but still really good that they kept their composure and beat Spain in the bronze medal match to win their second consecutive Olympic medal. Given the competition in men's hockey today, where the top 8 teams are so strong, winning 2 back-to-back Olympic medals in men's hockey is a wonderful achievement.
What about the women's hockey?
I think the women played phenomenally well at Tokyo, where we finished in 4th position. And considering the fact that India were at Rio 2016, India made it to the Olympics for the first time in 36 years. Women's hockey has really been down prior to that, but we qualified for Rio, which was a great achievement. Finished, I think, 12th out of 12 teams. Tokyo, 4th position. Just missed out on a medal. Great performance. But then again, we experienced a bit of a dip. Missed out on qualification for this Paris Olympics. So I think there's a lot of talent in women's hockey in the country. I think what needs to come is now a little bit more of maturity and consistency. And for that, a big part is, I think, our domestic structure, grassroots structure, coaching in women's hockey. Once we get all of that, more investment is required for women's hockey. Men's hockey is getting much more, I would say, not say at the national team level, but at the grassroots domestic coaching structure. So unless hockey is a sport where, unless you have regular tournaments, it's hard to maintain levels at that high, at a very high standard. I think there's great talent in women's hockey. I'm very optimistic. Harinder Singh has now recently become the coach of the women's hockey team. He's easily the best Indian coach at the moment. So I have a lot of hope and optimism for Indian women's hockey.
So now, as you learn very early balancing technical and life skills in life, let us talk about your personal journey. So you were so much focused on sports and your goals. What about your family? Did you ever thought about, tell us about your family background. When you got married or kids are...
Yeah, of course. Sure. My wife Smita is a journalist. We have a 10-year-old daughter. She played a whole range of sports. She's 10 years old now. She played football, hockey, badminton, swimming. Now she started playing tennis, and for the last couple of years, she's focused a little bit more on tennis. Like I said, at the age of 10, it's very hard for kids to know what they want, and interests change every few years. But from my point of view, as long as kids are passionate and they like to do something, for me, the important thing is just to go out there and enjoy your sport. It doesn't matter whether you play for India or not. It doesn't matter whether you play at the highest competitive level or not.
Let's come back to from playing sports, you come and join this organization, heading this organization, and how that happened, and how that is, how that mission you have impressed, and what your future plans, what you want to accomplish through OGQ.
Again, the OGQ is a not-for-profit foundation. We are very focused on providing support to Indian Olympic and Paralympic athletes, and one of our big endeavors is our junior program. We today have almost 150 athletes in the age group of 11 to 19 years that we support, and we try to support them in terms of coaching, in terms of equipment, doctors, physios, nutritionists, mental trainers, all the things that go behind the scenes in helping support these athletes. And Lakshya Sen was only 10 years old when we started supporting him. PV Sindhu was only 13 years old when we started supporting her. Manu Bakar was 15 years old. Aman Sehrawat, the wrestler who won bronze and wrestling at the Olympics, was just 15 years. So a lot of the athletes who OGQ supported, we actually started supporting them at a very young age. We research very stringently to support these before we take them on board.
So what is the best age to really recruit people, focus on this? Or there's no particular...
I think there's no particular... It's always... young is good. As a policy, we don't take athletes. Lakshya was the youngest at 10, but now as a policy, we don't take athletes before the age of 11 years old. The reason behind that is... because even if you start supporting them at the age of 11, it's going to be a long journey to the Olympics where they're in a very formal training structure. And sometimes formal training structures are not the best because it takes away the joy of actually playing sport. And we don't want to take away the joy from any athlete. So there's depends on sport to sport. In sports like shooting, archery, they actually start at a later age. You don't get access to weapons or archery equipment at such a young age. So it really differs from sport to sport. There's no hard to say what is the right age. In fact, I feel that kids at a younger age, for all parents out there, I think it's best to expose your kids to a wide variety of sports. And eventually, if they're passionate, they will, if they're passionate, if they're talented, good at one particular sport, the skill sets learned from different sports will actually help in the final sport that your kid chooses.
And do you have any idea about what is the oldest age the OGQ has taken?
When we started taking them, again it differs. So shooters, sometimes they start shooting very late. For example, Vijay Kumar, the Olympic silver medalist in London 2012 in pistol shooting, he didn't even hold a weapon till he was 18. So, there's no set one size fits all for every sport. People can start at different age. They're just talented. They work hard. They have the right support. You can make it. So, different age groups, and it just goes to show that that you don't need to listen to what the world says or what the world says that start at a particular age or don't start if it's too late. You can start whenever you want, and Vijay Kumar is the best example of starting late but still winning an Olympic medal.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for your time.